well-attended event, and I thank you all for your attendance. A couple items of housekeeping. The canapes and open bar will be available until 7. We encourage you to stay afterwards, and there will be music, curry, chili, and a cash bar until, well, late. It's fitting that we're holding this the day after Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, which, as we heard earlier, is a boat that John raced with friends for many years. But it's also on a Wednesday night, albeit out of season for racing, where many of us have spent such great times with John on and off the water. The Dinghy Club, as you're all aware, held a special place in John's heart. And he held a special place in the heart of the members and staff of this club. And the club appreciates being able to hold this celebration of life here today. I'd like to take the opportunity to give thanks to the RHADC staff, Liz, Greg, Peter, Chris, Gabrielle, and so many others for organising this event. My first chance to get to know John was through that fitted dinghy over there. He invited me out on the first race day of the season, and I guess he must have been struggling for crew, as I had no experience in that, and no reputation to go off. The following week, I had a frantic call from him, and he asked how far away from Harbour Road I lived, which wasn't too far at the time, and he was short on crew again. And he said if I could get down there, he would pick me up from the dock, and that was the start. I then sailed the dinghy with John for many years. There was no way of saying no to John Nichols. His passion and commitment was genuine, and you felt it whenever you were around him. He made every person on the fitted dinghy team, of which there are a few here tonight, feel very special from the start. Always inclusive, always ensuring everyone that puts time off the boat got some time in the boat. After racing, we would have a quiet debrief over a cockspur or two, some words of wisdom, some gentle encouragement, constructive feedback that you hoped would stick in your mind at least to the following race week, because you then drank many more cockspurs and forgot a lot. That was a good day, not a great day, was one of John's early sayings, he said, to encourage us all to improve the next time. Over time, the team, under John's leadership, turned racing into every day being a great day. Now, I would say everyday racing with John was always a great day. But one favourite dinghy moment was John proclaiming the day, the bay, and the season, which was when we won the day, the racing in Mangrove Bay, and the overall racing, which Peter alluded to earlier, I think was 2016. And we might have actually had 1 or 2 more race days still in the bag, and we already won it at that stage. So we'd done very well, and John was thrilled. As a tribute to John, Andrew Lake, Peter Dill, and the Lizzie crew have worked hard to restore a fitted dinghy rudder, which is hanging up over on this side. There is a plaque that's been put on there to list just some of John's accomplishments. We are looking for ideas of what to do with it, whether we donate it for a race or anything going forward. But I'd like to just quick round of applause for the dinghy crew and everyone for organising. John remained heavily involved with maintenance of the boat and the mentorship of the crew after he took up his position as flag officer, which obviously led then to him being Commodore. And from the dinghy shed or from the flybridge of Magic Carpet, he could always be seen supporting us. Even, actually, perhaps especially, when you should have loose covered, jibe set, or hoisted the kite quicker. His commitment to the club and his rise to Commodore allowed John, who was a lifelong sailor, to give sailing opportunities to others. He led the charge to import the club's fleet of RS-21s, with the strong belief that it not only would support sailing on island, but we could then build relationships with sailors overseas. John, who had sailing friends all over the world, believed it's one of the strengths of our sport, the camaraderie and friendships across languages, continents and oceans. Just this week, we have had students from the Ride School in the Isle of Wight visiting to do exactly that. And next year, we're aiming to have at least a couple more schools coming, perhaps even from the US. This would have made John so incredibly proud. I'll start to close out as I don't want us to be late for sunset. Although given John's tendency for arriving a little late, having been very busy doing John things, I think that would have been apropos. Or is that irony? As Commodore, I always thought giving the speech at the Governor's Luncheon would be the most difficult one. But I did not foresee having to do this. John gave me the opportunity to be a flag officer, and has also given me the opportunity to stand here and speak so proudly about a man admired by so many. Taken too soon. But I can hear John's off phrase saying, when things didn't go as expected and something broke or we sank, well, that's dinghy racing. You can't prepare for everything. Be kind, caring, and enjoy a good hook upwind and a solid send downwind. We can all learn from John, the gentlemanly Commodore. If he were here today, he'd probably suggest we fill her up. To the Jubilee Cup, or our favourite Whitney Cup as well. I originally had written here that I'd like to raise a glass in his memory, but as often done at the end of the Jubilee Cup, I would more like to do 3 cheers to John Nichols. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Tiger! Hooray! And before you're done having a listen to me and going through the next thing, I would just like to, on behalf of Liz Nichols, thank you all very much for your attendance. It is greatly appreciated.
Firing the cannon.